Renekton.
The B5 Renekton.
Yeah, ends up being effectively blind. We'll see if they opt to put the Aurora in the mid lane and commit to that.
Yeah, they could theoretically still do that. I'm kind of expecting Keen to play something maybe a little bit more tanky, and that is what he's looking at right now, as the Scion will be considered. Man, this does mean that game number 2, Rumble and Gwen priority, is going to be out the wazoo. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Yep.
As the Scion will be locked in, just going to try and neutralize this Crocodile as much as possible. So I said we want to look towards that top lane for all of the action to see who's going to be the best top. We don't want to look at the top lane, not anymore. The Renekton will have a fair bit of power in the early stages of the game after a couple of levels, but the Scion will just exist.
I think T1 are pretty okay with this. You know, they end up in... They have a comfort pick for Faker. Faker's most played in rounds 3 to 5. You know, Owner's on his Xin Zhao, the Orion is Xin Zhao.
Game 1 of our Saturday Showdown.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for Game 1 of our Saturday Showdown. T1 taking on Gen.G for our best of 3 of best of 3s decider, which is very, very cool. There is only one team in the world this year that can say that they're actually facing off against Gen.G in a best of 3 of best of 3s, because no other team has managed to beat them at all. We often see, right, this is the bottom lane that often has all the pressure, and now Canyon, speaking of pressure, is coming down to look for a dive. Gumishi does have his summoners available, but he may have to use them as the Valkyrie comes out. There's the barrier, as Duro holding onto the turret aggro, and he is a cannon! And so he can do it, as Carrier now so incredibly low, as Canyon just standing next to him gets out the steadfast presence as the flash forward. Duro will be able to tank that one up. No buckler death for him. And it's 2 kills here in the bottom lane already for Gen.G.
Duro just playing that one so perfectly. I feel like playing with T1's bot lane now. Dive coming top.
Yep, Keen could be in a little bit of trouble, and Ibai could be. I mean, he definitely is. Flash out from Ona, that is going to keep him alive. Keen will be able to deal with this wave. Of course, Scion pretty good at getting dove, which is a weird thing to say, but not going to miss out on too much. Didn't actually decide to go back, was just chilling underneath the turret. As the flash forward, looking to lock down the Nico, and Doran just punishes Duro for overstepping.
Beautiful play there from Doran. Knows the summoners are down from that dive in the bot lane. Finds the window. You know, he's trying to kill the back line. And this is just Renekton there doing so much damage, especially with the buffs they made to his dominance. He just kind of melts everyone who's nearby.
Could be a very large problem. Not to mention the skirmishing capabilities of things like Xin Zhao and stuff like that, especially if they can carry the orb around that Faker can deliver.
And a chocolate bar, you know.
I'm not saying this out of experience. We've got a bit of an engage. Great snare to come down from Duro, and another kill comes in for Ruler. Now Duro looking to lock down Carrier, but he's not going to find her. Gumishi does flash away, but it's a double for the Kaiser. Doran trying to get in there as Canyon looking to fend him off. But Meek not going to quite work out. The heroic charge does come through though, and Ruler will be locked down. Doran is very scary, but he just goes down. Chovy finds the angle, and it's another Tangle Barbs as the double comes in for Duro.
If Ruler hits 2 items before Guma gets his 1, it's just over. It is just unplayable.
It's kind of crazy though, because you can see Canyon moving over here, looking to try and lock down this dragon. Could be double dragon for T1 to start this one off, as the knockup does come through, but they're not going to be able to get here. That's going to be a Chemtech Soul, which honestly, not too bad. Oftentimes I give you a hard time for this. Yeah, I've heard a lot about him, and there's not a lot of teams are in him. As it turns out. As okay, we've got a cease and desist here. Gumiushi is going to agree. He will stop. As Canyon, he may as well. And a teleport in from Doran as well, so that is going to mean that it's T1 favored. Great little pick off there, and good answer from T1.
And I think I just saw Sir Mountable turn up there.
Yeah, he certainly did.
Bit of an overstep from Gen.G. Only 2 members committing to the play. The response comes in. Guma doing a good job to turn around the damage to get Canyon, and then Ona making the crack call. Knew the tower hit would kill the enemy jungler. Chases down Ruler with the help of Doran, and now we'll be able to pick up the Rift Herald. And this is actually feats of strength for T1. So despite the gold lead...
Oh, not quite. Haven't got a first star yet.
Yeah, they need first star. Okay. The objective of the feats of strength.
As Canyon's moving over, but there are a lot of people underneath this turret. Looks like T1 do want to employ the Rift Herald, and he does go down. That's a great double shockwave from Faker. There's Canyon and Chovy looking a little worse for wear. This isn't going to be the tower falling down immediately, and Keen looking to try and get some pressure down. Let's see whether he can find an angle as he slows down Doran, but they just turn onto this Scion. Gen.G not able to protect him, and Keen has to flash to get himself out of the way. Blooming Burst not quite doing enough here as Chovy walks
and look
into the river here. They've got so much vision of this area as that you look for it. Doran underneath the turret, but maybe it's a bridge too far still. They managed to lock that turret down and trade for their Renekton. Cease and desist, and they just mow them down. Keen not going to quite find the window here as another Tangle Barbs comes in, and Owner is also dead. It's a triple for Ruler. Oh no! They're going to move over and look for that first Chemtech Dragon as well, so that dragon stacking will be stopped.
The problem there was, it was the sort of fight where T1 were really more focused on the turret. That was their objective in that. They were like, we want to take the turret, Doran, go zone them off. If we can get some kills, great, but the main focus was taking the turret there. And Gen.G were just absolutely laser focused on we can just wipe them, especially with how strong Ruler was. And I think T1 just kind of disrespected Gen.G in the moment.
Yep, off Gen.G.
Legend Rise was implemented just to protect everyone from Broke.
Yeah, yeah. Or protect Gen.G from Broke, basically, is how that one generally goes. And understandably so. They've been terrorizing them for years. Reunion there for both of these players. As Keen looking for a bit of that Scion cheese from the brush.
Maybe that minion just decided to jump in the air.
Yeah. That's probably what Gumayushi was thinking.
It just doesn't.
This is curious, but you know, it's some spaghetti. As Owner is off to the side, this Otacon down to 50%, it's taking so much damage, man. If Ruler decides, things just go down, but Doran has found a flank angle, and Owner gets himself in there. It looks like they're not interested in the Otacon as cease and desist. Will connect, fully charged Q onto Doran, and he is going to be the first one to go down. Pop Blossom to deal with Carrier, and they do manage to do it. It's just front to back here for Gen.G as Ruler goes in, looking for the last few shots. The Supercharger comes down, but Gumayushi, he outplays it. Duro now in trouble as Otacon is looking to finish him off as Keen. Can he get over this wall to lock him down? And he has the flash. And Gumayushi, not many ways out here. Faker is actually taking out Chovy off to the side, and he gets the Otacon! All of the pedals going their way, and now they have the DPS. Keen, he's just a tank, and he has to walk it off.
What a play from Faker and Guma, this duo, keeping the hopes of the team alive.
That was absolutely ridiculous. Man, it's good to have the T1 circus back here for T1 versus...
Look at that moment where he TP'd in at low HP to Otacon, just killed Chovy, took the neutral, and was like, see you guys. Looking on this flank angle.
Yeah, Carrier is going to get spotted here by Gen.G as Keen moving in, wanting to find the angle. Chovy throws down between worlds. There's the Void Seeker connecting for Ruler as he gets dove on by the Renekton. Pop Blossom does nothing at all, and now Canyon's in trouble. Void Seeker is going to connect. There is the knock-up, and Ruler is over the wall. He takes down Gumayushi, goes golden to keep himself alive as Carrier's trying to be a hero. But it is going to work. They do get Ruler. And now it's Chovy needing to kill Faker in this game, because if they don't, he might be able to just win this one by himself. He wants to take the Aurora, but the orb doesn't have the range. Owner wants to get in there. There is the stasis to avoid Keen, but he's so extremely tanky. And Chovy's not going to risk it this time around. Owner just audaciously charging this Brambleback. And yes, Keen is kind of immortal against these champions as Chovy's making his way back, and that is T1's cute exit.
We'll have to back away. Keen got so much presence here. Chovy TPing back in, now looking.
Yep, doesn't get it.
Faker still so scary. T1 aren't even opting to contest the Dragon. That's how concerned they are about moving into an area they don't have vision, on the back of the fact that they don't have flash on their carries.
And it is Soul Point. They have started off this Baron as Duro not going to get stunned. As there's the knock-up coming on through. Duro gets over the wall, but I don't think he's necessarily in safety just yet. That Tangle Barbs may have helped out as Doran looking to get in there. The Pop Blossom, though, is going to hold him up in the air, and Duro will survive. That was some very cheeky Nicoing, and that means that the Baron is going to get stopped as now Canyon, he's the one in trouble, and Gumayushi does a lot of damage. Cease and desist will not be acquiesced at this point in time. And there goes the jungler, and the Baron's up.
Yeah, so big pick to get Canyon down. They want to set up for this Baron, but Doran is low, and they're still cautious about the potential for a fight. They're now looking for more.
Yep, Mega Cone does get Owner in there as between worlds goes Chovy. Knockup is going to come on through for Keen, but he is still melting here against T1. He does find some knockups, but doesn't get the Q. Voidseeker going to come on down here as Ruler. I don't think he wants to fight this. The Zombie Scion will be taken down, and T1 keep everyone alive, and this should mean Baron.
Yeah, the fact they got Chovy's ult as well, a big tool down. The poke is coming in from Ruler. Remember, he has the reset his W every time it lands.
Yep, Chovy's still up as well, as there is Doran setting up that Dominus. He's had a beeline towards Ruler every single time, but this health bar is just getting softened up. The Baron's likely to go down, but can they get themselves out in the end? Oh yeah, Gumushi is really scary. Lord Dom's now done as well as the IE. And so Gen.G will not have any of these turrets fall just yet, but on this push, it should be this one going down as Canyon looks for an angle. Doesn't quite get over the wall, but there is between worlds for Chovy, looking to try and lock down Ona here as the Tangle Barbs will connect. But Keen just can't really frontline anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like Ona has kind of been playing like a tank Xin Zhao, where he's just been absorbing so much, and it doesn't seem like a fun role, but when Gen.G approach, he's just there to block and make sure they can't get access to the backline. And now T1 looking for this mid-tier 2 without the Aurora ult. Feels like a lot of pressure, not able to be there.
Yeah, real large. As Chovy on that angle, Canyon moves into the pit. I think unseen there as now Doran dives on top of Chovy. Can he actually get himself out? He goes between the worlds, but the Krug Lord has him exactly where he wants him, and the Dragon goes over to T1. Keen is looking to go down here as well, as no redemption for the Scion, and T1 finding the angles in the late game.
Such a great read from Doran. Chovy trying to be annoying on this side, harassing, looking to find an angle on the Aurora. Immediately Doran pounces, pins him down, chases him with the help from the Krugs to take out Chovy.
Why would he go to his natural habitat?
He doesn't know. He gets the lair bonus there, and now
he did.
5v3. T1 just looking to end.
Yep, Carrier looking to get into position here. That is definitely this inhibitor going down. Let's see how much more that they can collect. As there is no Baron, they can deal with the wave theoretically, but there's a lot of low-range members on Gen.G. And T1 will have front row seat to this. Here's the engage as Ruler dives in, immediately does go golden and does flash away. Can he stay alive? That's the question. The answer is no! Owner is able to lock him down as Canyon gets into that backline, but it's not going to be enough. And T1 they were losing the entire game until they weren't, as Keen is going to show up, looking to try and deal with this wave as best he can. They might be able to do it here for now, but that's another Zombie Scion. And Doran running amok in this fight as well. This one may not necessarily be completely over just yet, but I think the writing is on the wall as T1, phenomenal performance late in this game. Duro and Chovy trying to get this one done. Out goes Chovy. No between worlds for you. And Gumayushi just needs a few shots on this Nexus. Chovy not going to be able to finish him off. And there it is, T1 with a Game 1 win.
And done in such a T1 fashion. Gen.G having the gold lead, having the advantages, but the clutch play.
But we do have to stay honest with how this one went. Gumayushi in the end did more damage than Ruler, which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. But it's going to be Zeri instead, and so this is going to be potentially a difficult one for Ruler to play out. As what are we playing, Carrier? What have we been cooking up? Zillion. Well, as we know, there's no Killian the Zillion. That's a Silas that he's hovering, so maybe we're not being serious just yet. Let's see what he does decide to lock in. Can be, of course, the Nautilus, which does work out relatively well, but instead, Renata will be locked in.
Okay, so, I mean, this is a thing we talked about, right? The melee topside, the short-range composition, one of the best champions at punishing short-range compositions is Renata. You're forced to dive in against T1. There's no real option about that. And now you're diving into a Trundle, you're diving into a Renata, and it's going to be pretty difficult. I feel like if we get to the later stages against T1, if Gen.G aren't crisp, if they end up face tanking the hostile takeover, things could get very messy very quickly. So I think T1 have some powerful tools behind them.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the rift for game number 2, T1 versus Gen.G. Gen.G needing a win to get us to a third game, and T1 wanting a victory here to clinch that second place. We were talking about steak a lot earlier on in the week. Sorry, vegetarians. But there's...
Rumble, obviously pretty favored. And then here, the ranged into melee support. And they got now looking for a potential dive. They are healthy.
They're healthy, but so is this wave. As Extendo Beam does come on through, let's see what Dura can do to keep Ruler alive. As he does Ghost, but that is not going to help him at all. Down will go Carrier, though.
It's just hooves as well, right?
They're not hooves, though.
Are they not?
I don't think so, as Ruler may just kill Doran here as he flashes and picks it up. I still don't know anything about Rhino's feet, but I do know the Ruler is going to be very happy with the kill.
Yeah, that seemed a very...
Maybe there's some generosity there as Keen. Not going to be treated with very much generosity here towards the bottom side of the map. I say that. Doran is going down so incredibly low as Ona gets in there, tries to put him in the kennel as the ward goes down, and Doran is able to help him burn that one out. So it is going to be double flashes invested here by T1 as Chovy with a Justice Punch that goes the wrong direction, but that is going to be A-okay.
That looked a little spooky for Chovy there. We don't see Guma commit anymore. Was a little bit conscious that maybe someone's hanging around. But Chovy was like 200 HP there after the Justice Punch, so... But a good gank there from Ona, just to give some pressure back to Doran. You were wondering, why did Doran not flash? He was saving it for that exact moment.
Exactly, there you go. That got the value for his Trundle.
Oh.
As Duro is flashing in, Handshake is going to come on down as Canyon says, "This is my dragon, please leave it alone." And they will say yes.
Yep. Gonna have to back away in that situation with Ona that low. It's so...
No flash available here for this particular Gwen as Duro is utilizing that Hex Flash, and they will be able to find Guma here. He does have the bailout, but I just don't know whether that's going to be proccing as Ruler looking for more. It is another kill going over to this Zeri.
Oh no.
Well, some needlework going to come on through here as Carrier, not going to find the hostile takeover because Keen just walks over it. Now he's looking for Gumayushi, who's not going to have any way out of this one. Duro just pulls him in.
Like I once knew that, and then it's been removed in return for like the AP ratios on Ziggs Q.
Oh, got a little bit of a stun here onto Ona, who does have to flash away. Hostile takeover is only going to connect onto the Pantheon, but he's kind of okay with it as the heroic charge comes down. Bailout will actually activate, but not too much more as, oh goodness, if it wasn't certified before, it certainly is now. Yeah, Wolf was onto something, as that's a double kill. 4-1-2 now for the Zeri, and this isn't a Kai'Sa. This is a little... say so. It did feel pretty significant last time, but the results certainly were not. This is another result of some situations that were happening elsewhere, as the teleport brings Faker in, but he doesn't really want to be here. Still, Carrier and Ona are going to turn up, and I don't think Keen is quite as immune as he really wants to be, as the bailout is down onto Ona, and down goes the Gwen. That is going to be Faker getting a kill back.
Full levels up on Guma.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you see the number and you're like, oh, he's 2 levels up because, you know, they were like close. To be fair, Guma did just get a good amount of XP because he kind of catch up XP, but
yeah.
It is...
It's going to be first turret going over to T1.
Massive lead.
That is going to be a big deal. That will be able to close that gap just a little bit, but it is still 2.5k. Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, Gumayushi is going to get magnetized, and Ruler going to zap him a few times. Does actually invest the flash, just to make sure that he's not going to get closed in on, as Owner has found him. And if he gets into Rune Prison range, this could be dangerous for Ruler, who's trying to kite this one out, but it's not going to work. And it's going to be the Rumble that locks down the shutdown.
He's going to hit, and gets that 652 gold shutdown, so Faker getting pretty strong as well now.
Yep. Feeds the strength.
Like,
did you ever use it as a track, or was it only ever to launch cars as far as you could launch them?
Launch cars.
Yeah, that was actually the only thing I thought that it was.
You ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Oh yes.
You know, there was that roller coaster you could make where I did the loop and just went, and then if you
fired them off into the sun.
You'd make one of those with the. That's what you'd want to do,
and then you finish making one of those. You're like, oh, I finished
over there.
Yeah. Immediate teleport going to come on through here from both the Rumble and the Galio as Keen. Possibly going to get flanked here as Faker does come on over, but he has Carrier in tow. We do have the heroic entrance coming down. The equalizer does basically nothing, unfortunately. And Chovy's able to tank this one up. T1 using so many resources, and they have to realm warp themselves out. But Duro just catches them in the magnet. Handshake is decent, but it just brings Ruler closer. So the T1 will melt. Another Penta will be denied. This time it's Canyon.
You know, the team was setting him up, and he just knocked him down.
Well, you know that that edge that goes really, really far, possibly never-ending. That has now been completed as Owner wanting to steal this one away. He does get stunned up though, and then just put into the blender. Down goes Gumayushi first. The other con is secured by Ruler somehow, as Carrier trying to get himself out, but he just gets crashed into by this Rel. And now skating over the wall, Jet Set Radio future here for Ruler, and he will be able to just zap down Faker. There's the pentakill for Ruler Zeri, as it doesn't work the first. Ruler not going to go too aggressive. Keen is though, as in comes the Galio as well, lands a nice double knockoff as the bailout is there, but it buys a few seconds maybe. And Gen.G are just going to pile in and destroy. Ruler looking to skate on over and just one taps the rest of Doran's health bar. And Gen.G, I think they're done having fun in this game. They're going to look towards game number 3 to try and close this one out. T1 will be back on the blue side though once again. I'm just glad that we get the full series between these two titans here in the LCK. Remember, stakes still massive for T1. They will have that first pick advantage. Let's see whether they can turn around this momentum.
A massive game from Gen.G, and I think out of 25 kills in total, he was everywhere this game, setting up his carries perfectly. And if ever there's been a statement game, but it's a concept that makes sense. You know, you want to keep your carries alive into this.
Yep, also Carrier really wanted to pick an engage support, and he got one.
Yeah.
That's sort of his way. As the Kasante, the Keen Sante, being hovered here, as he's grinning just a little bit. Let's see what is actually going to be confirmed. But this would make some sense given the player that we're seeing on our screen. And they will lock that one in. So Gen.G going for the Rise Group special, understanding where the culture lies and respecting it here with the Rakan Wukong Annie that has just been so incredibly good. It's not necessarily breaking any records as far as creativity is concerned.
Yeah.
But it's tried and true, and it certainly works. T1, they have a Yunara, they have a Victor, and they have a Dream. And we'll see whether Gumayushi can pop off.
It's one of those things, they have a lot of tools to shut down these carries.
Showdown, let's get into it.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 3, the decider between T1 and Gen.G in our best of 3 of best of 3s that we've had here in our rounds 3 through 5. Whoever wins this will come away with the series win. And if T1 are able to take it,
He's trading with you.
Yeah, exactly. Having to deal with both at the same time is the important part, as CHOVY is going to get licked momentarily. Death Ray comes on through, and Owner is coming in. Yep, no flash available for CHOVY, so he's just going to get impaled to death. And that is first blood going over to the Skarner as well.
Now though, Gen.G starting up on the grubs, and Yunara's in the bot side. Keen did teleport now though, so it would be a 4v4 on the top side.
There is a curtain call available for Ruler, so T1 respecting for now. Carrier possibly on an angle in, only level 5 here for the Tahm Kench. As Duro also, the Canyon will be able to W over, then Duro with the follow, so 2 come through for Gen.G. The last one was secured there by Aura Maiden, which is also here. So we'll see who gives the most gold, as Ruler is going to get exhausted. Carrier finds the gobble as the stun comes in, but I don't think Ruler's getting out of this one. Nice barrier though, and he survives! And now the curtains are being called. The last bullet gets the flash. And by last, I mean first. And now Carrier, he's the one in bullet hell that is going to survive momentarily. Oh, the deadly flourish coming on through there as Duro does make his way in. Equivalent to 2 dragons, you could say. As Gen.G, speaking of dragons, going to start off this one. Currently sitting on a 300 gold lead. Doesn't mean a whole lot at this stage of the game. And not even going to commit to it, as Owner is so tanky. First item complete.
Yeah, Canyon doesn't have a first item completed yet.
Oh, Ruler also doesn't have his ulti, so they're down a few buttons on the side of Gen.G. CHOVY as well, his health bar relatively low. Slurkle going to connect. Duro gets in there with the quickness, finds quite a few, and down goes the Tahm Kench to start us off. Flash out from Ona, trying to keep himself alive as he's going to have to drive his way out of this one, but he will not be allowed to. Ruler delivered that kill. Gumayushi going down on the side, and Gen.G just wiped them out and then start back on the dragon.
And I think T1 opting into a fight that wasn't really necessary here.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
The Keen Sante situation is happening once again as the flash in, and Keen drags him under his own turret.
Yeah, I think that's where Doran wants to be.
Now, I was gonna say that was where he was heading. So
maybe on the angle he's not complying.
Oh, Doran was hitchhiking.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, he held his thumb up. That's what really caught. Is it a Chemtech again?
T1, I hope it is.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, they're actually, so they're TPing Faker in. Are they going to TP Doran in or just let this go? I think the call is just let it go. Yeah,
Faker actually TPing to the top lane to grab the minions that were there. I think the turret may have actually just straight up died to minions if he hadn't have done so. Slurkle comes out, doesn't find Ruler.
That's feats of strength. That's also the Herald, which you can use to try and get that first tower.
The triple feats of strength?
I stopped counting, unfortunately. It feels a bit dissatisfying.
I know. Shouldn't you count it up for each of the things, no matter what? That's what I kind of thought.
Just really show it.
Yeah.
Demonstrate it.
Because I like seeing it all filled in. Yeah. We never get to see it all filled in.
But I think T1 making the right decisions to slow the pace down.
Yeah. And there it is. It's going to be filled in by T1 if it was still available to be filled in, but it wasn't. As Carrier going to... But it is getting close. As Gen.G on the dragon, Chovy just going to leave as there was a bit of a surprise waiting for him on the top side. Wanders back to this lane now as let's see whether this dive is going to work out. Chovy's going to get that unfortunate news that there is a Skarner in the area, but Duro's made his way over, does interrupt Owner as well as he does drive on through, but the tower is going to fall. T1 grabbing 2 actually already.
I think they can be pretty happy with that. You know, they're going to TP Yorick in here as well.
Yeah. Now Canyon going to have to be a bit tricky here to get himself out of the way, but they're not even able
that mid-tier one is low, and it looks like this top tower, bot tower, sorry, he's going to die.
The top tower is also kind of a breath away from dead, like a stiff breeze would be able to take it down. The topside jungle, and they lost.
So it's your fault.
It was my fault. I apologized immediately afterwards and stopped tweeting for the rest of Worlds, I think, that year. Which did work out in our favor, okay, I might add, as Ruler gonna get slurkled up. That keeps him in the ghoulie wall and forces the flash. As they manage to take the entire outer ring. Faker, his ultimate is just a circle. Doesn't actually do any slowing. Keen is a raid boss, and he's gonna go all out, brings in the Yorick, and where did he go? He might be inside a Slurkle right now, but that's in the death chamber. We cannot see it. As Chovy finding a nice double stun here as well as Ona looks to come through, but he's delivered by the Kazante! And down goes the Scon. Oh god, it is a bloodbath as Gen.G just mow them down. The Otacon going to be taken as well as Faker, the last man standing, and there is nothing that he can do. He can throw out
play right now from Gen.G and Doran.
Oh dear. Doran's health bar looked large, but Chovy makes it much smaller. As another Q will do it, and down he will go. Wants to invest a flash there as well. Felt like Chovy deserved it, and maybe that's true. There was the Stunkle, which was difficult for me to say. I got stumped on that one.
That sounds like an uncle to say.
Yeah, and then there's the Slurkle, the classic.
Yep.
And Doran has the Wurkle.
The Wurkle?
Because it's a wall circle.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Wurkle.
The Wurkle.
Yeah, so that's all.
I think I prefer Ghoulie Wall.
I mean, Ghoulie Wall is way better, but technically if you were going to do it like a Slurkle, it would be a Wurkle.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe it could be a Ghoulie Wurkle. We could call it that. And if T1 can perform a miracle there, then maybe there's a way back in. As Doran, once again, finding some bad guys, but now has Ona with him. Warrior Trixie does bring Canyon over, as that is going to be the red buff secured. There's the Impale as well, but Chovy will turn up. Ona having to flash away. The curtains have been called. Ona is able to... Oh, never mind! The last shot going to come through! And no one can escape this Gen.G today, as Duro able to just dash his way out of there. Gen.G find a couple of picks. This could break open even more of the base.
Just feels like there's no real recourse from T1. They're kind of just trying to get people out, run away, disengage from the situation. Oh no.
Oh dear. Yeah, he's gonna get closed in on. His health bar disappears in the blink of an eye as the flash forward from Keen, looking for an angle, still wanting to find more, even though there is a Inara and a turret there. Gumayushi just not really doing the damage. And the Ghoulie Wall comes down, looking a little bit sad there as well. Would have liked the cat skin just for the Ghoulie Wall to add a little bit of happiness.
Remember when we had hope that this was going to be a 3-gamer?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a 3-gamer.
Oh, no, sorry, that this was going to be a close 3-gamer.
Yeah.
Right, it is a 3-gamer. Do you remember when we thought this was going to be like a tooth and nail 3-gamer and it's just been 2 stomps?
Well,
yeah, I didn't
quite. Oh.
That, yeah, where did he go?
Well, you know how they banned...
He's taking a nap. I like it.
Do you remember when Gen.G banned Ball? They managed to kill Ball.
Oh, Tip is gonna kill him?
Oh.
I want to know.
Well, we're not going to see it. As Doran in a rough spot.
Just keep running, Doran.
Well, that is Canyon getting slowed down there, so not going to be able to quite close in on the Yorick.
There's no Krugs there. I think Canyon might have killed them. How dare he?
Oh my, no wonder Doran was fighting him, but he did have to flash away. Canyon still has his flash available as Owner now going to get slowed down. And catching Duro was never going to be an easy one.
Okay, we're flanking.
Yeah, Duran Ruler possibly in trouble. Let's see how the Ghoulie Wall is going to connect as the Morning Mist is going to miss. So, Morning Mist, it missed.
Yeah. Also, Ghoulie Wall not very effective against Rakan.
Oh, that's that 50 gold that we were talking about as well. As Duro, that's a little bit frightening as they do avoid the knockup. But, oh, even the Battle Dash gets him out. Oh, Duro, that is unfair. They deserved that one.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Maybe the space. No, don't give us that replay. I don't think we want that one. And Canyon just going to solo this last remaining Elemental Dragon and lock down the Infernal Soul.
I think after seeing that clip of Chovy one-shot Guma, I think I really was just asking myself, what did
Talk about stats that are real that don't really mean all that much. Slurkle slows down Canyon momentarily, but T1, I don't think they're defending this particular inner turret. Still, they want to try by the looks of things. Deadly Flourish going to go a little bit wide as the Maiden getting amongst it. Gumayushi doing his best with that Q. Some more Slurkle value, but still the inner turret will fall down. Keen just walks up, pulls in the Maiden, and finishes off that tower. Baron going to be up again in 2.5 minutes in this game, but Gen.G, I mean, they just have so much damage. Chovy with his Death Cap now done, as well as Shadow Flame Malignance. Even though this Annie is the one with the smallest gold advantage, he is still doing so much damage in this game. As, yeah, see, there, for example, Owner was a tank, by the way, guys, and now he is dead.
He just got to delete it completely. They're going to kill the Maiden now?
Oh, no, there's no recourse. It's now Chovy having to deal with the Arcane Storm. Faker able to take him down, asserting his dominance against his opposite number, but still the result is going to be a dead inhibitor in this mid lane. And I think this is just confirmation that Chovy isn't getting POM for this game.
For the series.
For his 500th win. So they get some bounty gold as in goes Duro, out goes Duro. Canyon, oh, this flank angle, they do get vision, but it's just a little too late. Still Gumayushi's able to flash his way out, but Canyon still so healthy. There's the flash forward, and Chovy says good night to the top lane of T1. The Inara tried, but T1 are now all on the floor. That is going to be the game win from Gen.G, and it is back-to-back massacres here in games 2 and 3. As Gen.G really wanting to put an end to this regular season that feels good, and man, they are going to be one heck of a raid boss moving into playoffs.
And game 1 convinced us that, you know, these two teams were going to go pound for pound, blow for blow, but Gen.G win about that life. 2 crushing defeats in game 2 and 3. Extremely decisive domination.
Yeah.
I feel like Gen.G wanting to end the regular season strong and with a super dominant performance.